how to not get rained on. This is different. Yeah, so it's complicated, but I mean, um, you want to support you want to support the horse over the jump, but at the same time, you looseness. If you pull back on them and constantly pulling at the horse's face, they're gonna start refusing jumps. If you pull back on them over a jump, they're gonna refuse the jump. They don't want to do it anymore. If you pull back on them before, they're gonna race jumps, and it's gonna get worse. And and it's like you'll see like a young kid, and they're trotting around on a horse, and the horse is like racing around the ring, and every like young instructors, they're gonna say, shorten your reins then. If the horse is running off, well, shorten your reins. And I always say, no, don't do that. Don't shorten up your reins. Don't choke up on your reins. Loosen your reins. Loosen your reins. And they think I'm crazy. No, loosen your reins, and use your energy, calm down the horse. That calms down the horse, the nice loose rein. And then you got to give clear cues. Make sure they listen to you. They always have to listen to you. If they get away with running off on you, you're not that I mean that's not good either, or whatever. When they're truly freaking out, you can't snatch up the reins and pull back like with all your might. You can't do it. You have to stop them slowly. Bring them back to you slowly. And so I just blab on and on to my kids. We practiced all the. I bring them in the center of the ring. I'm like, okay, put your toes down for me. Do it the wrong way. Put your toes down, and I take the reins. I snatch the reins from them, and they like and they fall forward. And I tell them, I said, okay, this is what happens when you put your toes down. You lose all strength. Everything's gone. You lose all your strength. I'm like, okay, now put your heels down, and sit up nice and tall. Keep your shoulders back, and then I yank on the reins, and I say, "This is what it feels like if a horse trips or bucks or whatever." I pull on the reins, and if their heels are down, I'm like, "See, you have more strength, right? You don't fall forward." And we just practice all the emergency stops, all the disengaging the hind end, and even when you get on, if you're getting on a horse, it's like if you're breaking a horse or whatever, you don't want their head straight out, just completely straight out. When a horse's neck is straight out, you have no you have nothing. The horse can do anything. They can run off, they can buck, whatever. They just have full reign. They could do whatever they wanted. You have to pull their head to their side and hold their head to your side, and you can get on that way, and then you allow them their head. Once you walk around a little, and then you can allow them their head a little bit, but that's what you got to do. You got to pull their head to their side, and when their head's to their side, they can't buck, they can't run off, they can't rear. That's the true emergency stop, essentially. And um and so I have them turn their horse's head to their toes, and then you give a little squeeze with your heel and have them disengage their hind end, cross their hind legs over. And I say, okay, so if you're not hind legs, so if your legs are crossed and your head is pulled to your side, are you gonna be able to run? They're like, no. And I'm like, okay, so that's a true emergency stop. That's how you stop them. And so I go on and on and on. I'm sure a lot of them they might not understand, but honestly, by the 20th, 30th time, they're gonna understand. So that's my 10-year-olds.